Welcome to CEO Money. I'm Michael Yorba. Thanks for joining. I have Anne Liebgott, CEO, Americans. Welcome to Switzerland. All right, Anne, welcome to the show. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
All right, give us some background on you, what your company does, and then we'll dive into a couple of questions I have for you.
Okay, well, I'm a Canadian-born Swiss, US, Danish national, and I have been living in Switzerland for the last few decades. And I have more or less recently launched a Swiss platform called Americans Welcome Switzerland, which actually introduces the Swiss SEC-registered investment advisors that are able to serve U.S. clients without restrictions.
Great. Now, talk to us about that, Swiss management services for U.S. clients domiciled in the U.S. and abroad, but that's kind of a generic overview. You have got to have a lot more gears running than just the simple overview. What do you do?
Okay, the platform itself, of course, is this bridge between users in the United States, so that means investors interested in getting established in Switzerland, but they don't necessarily know how to do it, and there's not necessarily an easy access to it. And that's what this platform does. It provides an easy access between the users in the United States, domiciled in the US, and the Swiss investment advisors that actually are dedicated to serve provide Swiss wealth management services to US clients.
What do they invest in? I'm really curious about that.
Okay, there's two kinds of investors, of course. There's the more aggressive one that is actually looking to, performance figures, looking to increase his wealth. But you also have the other ones that just appreciate Switzerland for its long-term political and economic stability, and they basically just want to park their funds there. Let's just call it the proverbial Swiss nest egg.
Got it. But when they say park their funds, I'm really curious about what type of investments are permitted in this kind of an exchange with, I think it's like 60 fund managers you have access to, is that right?
Well, 60 Swiss wealth managers, they're not fund managers.
Sorry, fund managers,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, well, if you're going to be investing in a safe strategy, you can be investing in physical gold, you can be investing in bonds, Swiss franc bonds, etc. Mm-hmm. And that is, of course, going to provide you some stability in your overall risk profile of your portfolio. If you're on the other side, if you're on the more aggressive side of investing, you might even go as far as to invest in emerging markets and other, let's say, higher risk investments. But you're having a Swiss investment management, a Swiss investment manager, mm-hmm. and of course your funds are parked with the Swiss banks. You're having jurisdictional diversification as well.
Right. Our COO is definitely on the way to Switzerland to go make this happen. So you're going to be, we're going to talk a lot more, you and I, about this stuff. Tell me about the success rate, how this got started, and then the success rate as your businesses have started to come to you and mm-hmm. and develop the return that they were looking for.
Exactly. The business actually started, we're in the 4th year now. The business actually started way back when I had a mandate from a Swiss insurance broker who asked me to handle their US inquiries. And this was for insurance products, private placement life insurance and things like that. And speaking to these American clients, I found that they are very interested in getting established in Switzerland, but not all are so keen on the insurance solution, but they don't know how to get established, like where to go. And of course, they're not necessarily interested in a big name, like UBS or something. They also say, well, there's other ones out there. What are they doing? More individual service, not just a number, and things like that. And like I said, over the years, there have been, every year there's new Swiss SEC-registered investment advisors joining the force. And but there was no way to find them. You couldn't find them anywhere. There was no directory, there was no source for it, no resource. If you would know the exact name of the company, then yes, you could look them up at the SEC registry. Yes, of course you can. But you couldn't put in Zurich or Switzerland and find them that way. So I decided, Eureka, I will make a directory that will provide this kind of information.
And are there several directories out there, or are you standalone out there with the one?
Standalone. It's the only one. Yeah. And the success, I have to say, is measured in that the people or the companies that appear on the platform, they appear every year. They want to renew their listing. They've told me there's no obligation to report back to me, of course, but they do, and they say it's been a success. And like I said, they've all renewed their listings, and we're in the 4th year, so it must be working.
How often do things in your world change? Is there constant motion of new products, new people, and new avenues for people to put their money into, or is it generally kind of a set plan and very predictable?
I'd say it's a bit of both. You have, of course, let's say the investment managers that are very traditional and old school. And there it's very predictable. But that's what some people want. I mean, the ones that are looking, like to say, to park their assets, they want the predictability. Then there's the other ones that are, more avant-garde and trying new ways and trying new things. And just for example, ESG investing, ethics, social governance investing, that's kind of a big thing over here now, a little bit behind the US, I think, because in the US, there's already 26% of the market is in ESG investing. But now the Swiss are getting onto that as well, but not using only US investments, but investments around the world.
From my limited experience with international investing, the type that you're talking about, tell me if this is true or not. The government, the regulatory authorities that oversee the Swiss investment houses are really, from my understanding, more stringent than what you see here in the United States when it comes to who actually can represent them themselves as an investment house. Am I correct, or is it the other way around?
No, it's very true. The Swiss companies are strict regulation, not only from the U.S. side of things, being registered with the SEC, but also on the Swiss side of things. And Switzerland always has this like extra topping, on any kind of regulations. If there's MiFID coming from the European Union or whatever, the U.S. side of things, the Swiss always have this extra Swiss polish on it. So they're very strictly regulated.
All right. Plans for the future?
Expanding, redoing the websites, adding many new features. There's also an Asian platform coming up called AmericansWelcome.Asia, and that should be completed before the end of the year.
Where are you broadcasting from?
Oh, well, outside of Zurich.
That's what I was wondering. Zurich, Geneva, I wasn't.
Yeah. But I have 4 domiciles, so I broadcast from where I am at the moment.
Oh, that's wonderful. Definitely plans to come out and see you, and definitely want
Please do. You're more than welcome.
And I would also like to extend an invitation so that as some of these, the old standards, they're simple, they're here, we know what they're going to be doing. But when you come up with new products and new launches, I would love to be able to bring those out on our show. Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. And I'll make use of that. Okay, good. Thanks for being a guest on the show today. Thank you very much. Enjoy the day. You too. All right. Bye-bye. Bye. You've been watching CEO Money with Michael Yorba. Don't forget, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.